with the private sector and with the public sector. And as you heard me say before, I gave this community my word. We will be there every step of the way. We will get through this with them, and our poultry farmers and others will get back up on their feet. This is a noble cycle, what happens on our farmlands in this Commonwealth and our facilities. The way these folks go to work every day to feed our neighbors is truly a wonderful thing, and we want to get that return to normal as quickly as possible. So we're going to continue to aggressively go after this high-path avian influenza, and we will defeat it. I'm joined today by Chris Herr of Penn Ag, and of course the great Secretary Russell Redding, so we'll be happy to take a few of your questions right now.
Shapiro, has the federal government given any confirmation that Pennsylvania would be the site of the pilot program of any potential vaccine?
We're working closely with Secretary Rollins and the folks at USDA, and I must say Secretary Rollins has been wonderful to work with. She and I have spoken multiple times, including at the White House in person on Friday. They've been able to meet our request for staffing. They've been able to meet our request for some regulatory relief in order to get more veterinarians out there. And I think they also understand the importance of figuring out how to get a vaccine out there. I think Secretary Rollins' point is that that's not going to be something that they're able to deliver on tomorrow. Perhaps as a pilot over the course of the next few months. She's given us her word that they're going to work through it and do their best, and I take her at her word, and I appreciate her work there.
Be the site of a pilot program?
I didn't hear you.
Would you want Pennsylvania to be the site of a pilot program?
I can't speak for Secretary Rollins other than to say that we're having really good communication. She understands that farmers and others are calling for it, that I've asked for it, and that we're going to work through it. As we discussed here at the table, there's a lot of complicating factors at the federal level, including trade. And I say this not to be critical in any way of our federal partners, but they've got to work through those issues. And so that's why it's not a tomorrow thing. It's something that, as the Secretary said, will likely take months.
Governor, could the three of you address the economic toll this has taken, particularly on the producers here in Lancaster County?
Well, I'll just say at a state level, and then I'll invite Chris to share a few of his thoughts. At a state level, we're prepared. We're the only state in the country with a Hi-Path Avian Influenza fund, which has about $60 million in it for prevention, protection, and to help farmers recover and get back up on their feet. The legislature's also given me authority to dip into the general fund should that $60 million not be enough. Obviously, we'll communicate with the legislature should that be the case. We feel prepared at the state level. Obviously, this is taking a dramatic and devastating toll on our poultry farmers across Pennsylvania. We're working with them to get them back up on their feet as quickly as possible. Chris, anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I think the ripple effect is certainly evident. You have feed companies that were here today. Those feed trucks aren't going out. There are service companies, so it's not just the farmer. So it'll be into the tens of millions of dollars, the effect when the economists look at this finally.
Anything else?
This facility here, what's all of this equipment? Where does all of this go? How does it work when it actually gets to the farms?
Yeah, this is a one-of-one facility. I'm going to ask the Secretary to talk about it, but we're incredibly proud of what we've developed here. Mr. Secretary.
Yeah, so this Rapid Response Center really was designed to be a warehouse of response pieces of equipment and people. So what you see around here are things that get deployed when the phone call comes from the farm to the state veterinarian. We can dispatch from this location any of the equipment you see here. And by the way, there's also equipment that's already deployed in the field. But that's the point. It's a rapid response. Whatever we need, trucks, sprayers, people, and personal protective equipment as an example. That's what we designed it for.
Yeah, to that.
Please, Chris.
I think it's important. Let's be clear. Animals are being put down, and everybody's had a family pet. Unfortunately, at some point in time when that happens, goal one of the governor, of secretary, is to, as humanely as possible, put down really, really sick animals, and that's what this site has allowed us to do. The governor and secretary have provided the equipment. Again, you go into your vet's office, it's a horrible, horrible time. But I can tell you the part that has been, the way you sort of reconcile this in your mind as you're doing the right thing for that animal. And this facility has given us all the tools to do that as humanely as possible. So I think it's really important that time is a significant factor in all this, and doing it quickly is really important. Sorry about that.
Anything else, Alex?
Mallory, go ahead. Just speak up for us.
We talked a lot about biosecurity earlier. Are you aware of any laser technology that could help with the local farms, and would that be implemented?
We do it. Great question. A lot of this is being driven by wild birds. Birds are moving us around, migratory birds. There's lasers that work amazingly well. It's too bad Mike Martz isn't here. He's probably still here. They're able to cover about 80 acres with one of these laser systems, which really will knock down, or not knock down, it doesn't hurt the bird, but it'll, raptors, things like that, it will move them away. Very, very effective, and we can grab Mike if you like before you leave. But yeah, laser technology is part of the answer.
Anything else?
Will more resources be needed from the General Assembly? Now, you were asked that today. Will you believe more resources may be needed to help bring farms up to speed with this technology and biosecurity, as it was talked about?
If they are, I will make an appeal to lawmakers. You saw it today, bipartisan group of lawmakers, including Senator Malone, who I know are prepared to step up for our farmers. So I expect that if we need it and I ask for it, the legislature will deliver on it.
Two more. Mallory, anything else?
Related to the press conference, or?
We'll do off-topic after.
Okay.
Jackson, go ahead. We'll go on-topic. What has the collaboration been like with other states, since birds are, they don't know about state lines?
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, I've talked to my fellow governors in the area, particularly Jersey is dealing with this a bit. A lot of cooperation, coordination, sharing of information, which is probably the most important thing. The key is, and Secretary Redding will speak to this, he works incredibly closely with his fellow ag secretaries in the other states. So it's been one of these things where everybody's kind of rowing in the same direction and working together in common purpose. You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, Governor, thank you. It's an important part of our response. I mean, the whole blue team that is here comes from all over the country. I mean, we've got 24 members, and there's probably 24 states, that are represented in that group. We're in constant contact with, the Delmarva Peninsula, given the poultry density. We've had outreach directly from other states. There are 12 states at the moment across the country with Hi-Path Avian Influenza. They have been in contact with us about, one, the recovery fund, right? Because they're like, well, how did you do that? I mean, that's the biggest ask that we're getting from producers is they need some help. And at this point, the only way to respond is reach to the USDA and the federal government. And then they're just sort of pledging their support and help. If it's equipment that's needed, if it's personnel that's needed, they're advocating with us on vaccine discussions as well. So yeah, it's been a really beautiful response. Everybody wants to see this in Pennsylvania be contained and suppressed, because they know that if you can't do it here, the chance of doing it somewhere else, very difficult.
Yeah, we actually hosted both the state veterinarians from New Jersey earlier this year, and then just recently deployed equipment to New Jersey to help them with an avian influenza case. The virus does not differentiate between borders of counties or states. We've also worked very closely with Maryland and Delaware. They've used some of this facility, and they've used equipment and resources. So yeah, it's the leadership of these two guys. It doesn't have boundaries, it doesn't have borders.
Talking to other states to collaborate, are you concerned about avian flu spreading here from Pennsylvania to Maryland or Delaware, the Delmarva Peninsula?
We are concerned about the spread of Hi-Path Avian Influenza, whether it spreads from here somewhere else or from somewhere else here. That's why we take this so seriously. We've thrown everything we have at it, from resources to time. We're coordinating at a state, local, and federal level. We want to do everything we can to kind of shorten the lifespan of this virus. It started way earlier than any of us would have hoped, and now our goal is to end it more quickly than others might expect. Thank you all very, very much.